Good morning, beloveds. Sorry, I haven't been sleeping well. So I'm awake, but not necessarily aware. It is July 13th. Our title is I Have Divine Guidance. Our Bible quote is, "Be strong and have good courage, for the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee." And that is Deuteronomy 51:6. We all wish to know that the divine presence goes before us, and we all have the right to feel this assurance. Every man is a unique presentation of the divine mind, a separate without being separated. Let's try that line again. Every man is a unique presentation of the divine mind, a separate without being a separated entity in the universal spirit. Every man is, as Emerson said, dear to the heart of God. We should all develop an increasing consciousness that we are protected and guided in everything we do, say, or think. I know that new and wonderful ideas will come into my consciousness today, and that I shall be compelled to act upon them intelligently. I am assured of divine guidance. I feel that it will be impossible for me to make any mistake, that even though I should start to move falsely, my movement will be corrected. I feel as though I am being constantly watched over and protected. Today, I know that the Spirit goes before me, making plain my way. I feel that everything I do shall be prospered, and I fully accept that I am in partnership with the Infinite. It is my desire that only good shall go from me. Therefore, I have a right to expect that only good shall return to me. I live under the government of good and am guided by the Spirit of God. This I affirm, this I accept. Alrighty then. We should all develop an increasing consciousness that we are protected and guided in everything we do, say, or think. It really does, to some degree, come down to trusting. And that's one of the things that I have been willing to do, is trust. It's not that I don't make mistakes, and it's not that I don't say things wrong. And because when I do, I'm usually pretty immediately aware, okay, that didn't go the way it should have. Let me make amends or better or whatever. But I trust that the words that are coming out of my mouth are helpful, not hurtful, useful, divinely inspired. And it's because I've done my work. I have done my work, and I trust. So that's a two-part scenario there. I've done the spiritual work. I have done the healing within me that I need to do. I have done the studying within me that I need to do. And then I trust that because of the work that I have done, that the words that I need will come forth. I'm not making it up from whole cloth, and I'm not just relying on inspiration. I've done the work. And that's where it is. It's consciousness, but still doing the work. It's like, oh yeah, I can trust God all I want, but I still have a responsibility to do the work. And that's why I said, I've done the studying, and and I continue to do the studying, and I've done the healing work. I've worked on myself. I've healed those unhealed places in myself that might respond or react to a situation. Have I healed everything? No. But at least I know where my triggers are. That was one of the interesting things in practitioner training. The first year you spend in your own head. So you learn where all of your triggers are, and you disable as many of them as possible. You're not going to walk out of practitioner training completely 100% healed. and have absolutely no triggers at all. I mean, some people might, but most of us don't. Most of us are, yeah, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, so we have them. But at least as a general rule, we know where most of them are, so we can manage them better. And then the second year you spend learning to work with clients. So you do your work. And then the second part of it is trusting God. You do the work, you do the studying, you do the healing, what have you, and then you trust that the actions that you take are divinely inspired as well as coming from the work that you have done. We bear a responsibility in what we do. Because the divine guidance can only guide you to a point if you haven't done the work beforehand. All right? So, I have divine guidance. And that Bible quote, "Be strong and have good courage, for the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee." That's from Deuteronomy. I always get Deuteronomy mixed up with one of the other books. But Deuteronomy 51:6. So, it's like when you get in it, you know you're in Deuteronomy, but I always think it's the other one with all the begats. Okay, so we all wish to know that the divine presence goes before us, and we all have the right to feel this assurance. We wish to know. We wish to know the divine presence. If we do our spiritual practice, if we do our work and have faith, then we can feel that presence. It's like, don't wish, do your work. Don't wish, do your spiritual practice. Feel that presence. Go to that place. And you can like literally physically go to a place. If you have been in a sacred space, whatever that looks like to you, whatever you consider a sacred space, be it, because I have been in, I've been in Buddhist temples. I have been in, soaring Catholic churches. I have been in beautiful places in nature, all of which are sacred. They may not be sacred to everybody, but they are sacred spaces, and I have felt the presence there. And once you feel that presence once, you can find it again. And you can find it in the most mundane of places. It's like, so go find that feeling so that you know what it feels like. And once you know what it feels like, it's a whole lot easier to find anywhere else. So, and everybody finds it in different places. I mean, I have been in lots of places and felt it in lots of different places, that weren't necessarily the tradition that I was raised in. And that's what I think is amazing. It's like, once you've found that, if you're open to it, you can find it in all kinds of amazing places. Especially and including nature. Okay. Each person is a unique presentation of the divine mind. A separate, but not without being a separated. So, it's we believe in unity, not uniformity. We believe in divine distribution centers that are not, it's like we're individualized centers, but we're part of a greater whole. So a separate without being a separated entity in the universal spirit. Each person is, as Emerson said, dear to the heart of God. Dear to the heart. Every living being is dear to the heart of God. The lilies of the field are arrayed more beautifully than Solomon in his temple. And how could God not know you when he counts the sparrows in the field? Right there. Every living being, every living thing is dear to the heart of God. Every living being. You will never look in the eyes of someone God does not love. We should all develop an increasing consciousness that we are protected, guided in everything we do, say, or think. All right? Do our work. Do our work. That's where it is. It's like it's a balance between doing our work and trusting. When we do our work, this kind of work, spiritual work, prayer work, spiritual practice, then we trust because we've laid the groundwork. We've laid the groundwork for the guidance to guide us with. I know that new and wonderful ideas will come into my consciousness today, and I shall be compelled to act upon them intelligently, because I have laid the groundwork, and I have laid the groundwork with guidance, both divine and I've had good teachers. I am assured of divine guidance. I feel that it will be impossible for me to make any mistakes. And he follows that up by saying that even though I should start to move falsely, so if it feels like I'm starting to make a mistake, I will recognize that I am making a mistake and I will stop. So it doesn't mean that we're going to be flawless and we're going to be, we're not ever going to make mistakes. But what it means is that when we start to make a mistake, we will recognize it for what it is and we will be able to stop. All right? That's super important. You don't have to be flawless. You are a whole, wonderful human being, and it means that you can move in the wrong direction. But you will recognize that, and you will stop, and you will move in a different direction, all right? So don't beat yourself up for moving falsely, as he says. Don't beat yourself up for that. Accept the guidance that recognizes when you are, and move differently, all right? My movement will be corrected. My movement will be corrected. So even if I start to move falsely, my movement will be corrected. I feel as though I am being constantly watched over and protected. Today, I know that the Spirit goes before me, making plain my way. I feel that everything I do shall be prospered, and I fully accept that I am in partnership with the infinite. Partnership with the infinite. And that's why I say we do our work. We lay the groundwork. We work with our teachers. We do our healing. We continue with our spiritual practices, because that puts the framework in which we can be guided. We can't be guided from nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. We can. But generally, we're in partnership. We are in partnership with the infinite. It is my desire that only good shall go from me. It is my desire that only good shall go from me. Therefore, I have a right to expect that only good shall return to me. What you put out is what you get back. I live under the government of good and am guided by the Spirit of God. This I affirm, this I accept. I have divine guidance. So our mission, should we choose to accept it, you already heard it, is to develop that increasing consciousness that we are protected and guided in everything we do or say. It's to know that divine presence. It's to find that divine presence. And maybe that should be the mission. Maybe that should be the mission. If you do not feel like you know what that divine presence feels like, then go and find it. Go and visit sacred spaces. Go and visit a wide variety, experience a wide variety of sacred spaces. If the sacred spaces that you grew up with and are not giving you that feeling, then go find it. Go and visit. One of the most amazing experiences that we had was at 8,000 feet. We went up to a retreat. It's a Buddhist retreat center up in Colorado, Shambhala. And we did a silent retreat, and they took us at 7:30 in the morning, I think. We got up. So it was before breakfast, hiked up to the temple and sat in meditation in the temple. And it was amazing, and it was nothing like anything I had ever been in before. And you felt it. You felt it. And then after we got out of that, they let us talk again. But I have been involved in the next retreat we did. I was a co-planner for it, a co-director, I don't know what they called me. But Peg and I, okay, let's be honest, Peg planned the retreat. I just reined Peg in. So, but because she is of Native American, she has some Native American, she's of Native American descent. She used a lot of that tradition, and so we felt that. So it's like, go and experience other traditions. Walk in respectfully, walk in with an open heart, walk in with an open mind, walk in with an air of experiencing. Don't just show up. Do your research beforehand, but go and experience it. Or go to, I went to school in Colorado. Go to the Garden of the Gods in Colorado. It is an absolutely amazing, park. Or when I was out in Los Gatos for another retreat, which was on a convent. Yeah, it was a convent. There were nuns. They had opened up the parts of the convent for a retreat to help keep the place going. They had a hiking trail, and you got to see these redwood trees that, my hiking companion's 6 feet tall, and he stretched his arms out and couldn't reach to the other side of the tree. Go and experience that. Find that feeling. Because once you find that feeling, you can find it absolutely anywhere. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox now. That's the mission. Increasing consciousness. But go find the feeling. Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Every single day. Whatever it looks like. Go smell the flowers. Go look at the trees. Go snuggle with, a four-legged with fur. Whatever it is that is loving, kind, and compassionate for you, the best place to practice that is on yourself, because you deserve your own loving, kind compassion. Always. And the more you practice on yourself, the more you will have to share with the people that cross your path. All right? There is a part of you, at the center of you, in that unfiltered place where you meet God, that nothing can touch. That's what he's talking about today. That's what he's talking about being watched over and guided and protected. There's a part of us that nothing in this world can touch. And that's the part where love comes from. That's the part love goes to. That's the part where we go to in those sacred spaces. And that's the part that we bring forth into the world that helps us to make a world that works for everyone. So, whatever it is that you're going to do today, please do something to engage your mind and your body. Go get that face full of sun. The weather's pretty nice. I don't know what the temperature is, but it was cooler and there was a breeze today, so the run was nicer than it has been. So take care of yourself. Because you're a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. I mean, that is your state of grace. That is our state of grace. Take care of yourself. Know that you're loved. Know that you are loved by, that which made you out of love, from love, with love. Take care of yourself. All right? Drink plenty of water. It's summertime. Drink plenty of water. All right, I'm going to move into the process of my day. It is Tuesday. I'm not sure that there's anything going on. I know that there's a class coming up. Treatment and meditation is coming up soon, but I think they're teaching that on Thursdays. So if you're interested, email info@creativelife.org. Get on that mailing list. That way you'll know what's going on. So when I don't, you do. And especially if you're watching this on YouTube and it's not Tuesday. You can find out. So All right, beloveds. I'm gonna stop talking now and move on, and encourage you to open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven now. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It's a place within you that you carry with you always. It's not a place that you go when you die. It's a place now that you can live in, right here, right now. It's all around you. So look for the good and praise it, like Emma says. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna, lose my mind. But I had a shaman who said sometimes we have to lose our mind to come to our senses and find our soul. All right, beloveds. Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you today. I'll be back with you at 9 a.m. And you can always catch this on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. So feel free to check it out. It's divided up into playlists by date, month, and book. So, because I've now done, I'm on my second book. But have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Bye, beloveds.